impressed by the machine gun fire. M10 moving in as well, and quickly disabled by accurate fire from the Geschützwagen and pack. A bit unfortunate. And looks like the Germans might make a full retreat from this situation. Or not. Looks like the Puma might be knocked out. If it is not careful or lucky. And a rear shot blows up the Puma in a puff of fire and smoke, leaving only the Geschützwagen to hold the line, and the Rangers can easily deal with this with its bazookas if they so choose. Indeed, fire up and moving in. Not hitting though at all. And we see Rangers, Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers trying to move in and cover up the situation. And we see assault grenades being used by the German troops. Certainly a lot of munitions, ridiculously much in fact. Although he could, for example, use them for things like mines or Goliaths. Yes, indeed, the Goliath, quite useful if used properly, can blow up entire squads. And we see a second Ranger team out for the Americans as well. Although they are now as well pulling out due to hitting a mine, and the German infantry moving in. And things are not looking bright for the Americans. From having the entire right map, they now only have a small foothold on the right side and a even smaller one on the left side. A bit what can happen if you decide to wait back and give the initiative to your opponent, which is sort of what he did. And we see counter mortar fire going in on the American mortar, knocking out the crew. And the crew being a bit knocked out by further mortar shells. Stu 42s once more just standing still, and we see the Geschützwagen in an overwatch position. Funny little thing. Now moving in. Perhaps an attack will be underway on the remnants of the American positions here, who knows. Further Rangers moving out, quite keen on pushing through in the west, it seems. Further mines and a lot of sandbags going down, in fact. No barbed wire though, but still sandbags can be good to create heavy cover where there is none, and allow for a lot more survivability for your troops in the face of a vast attack. Americans gathering up for the assault, and now the Rangers are on the move. Will they succeed? Will they brush aside the German defenders, or will it all be for naught once more? Geschützwagen opening fire again. Rangers already suffering heavy casualties. In fact, 3 Rangers down. Further Rangers down as well. Only one left. He really needs to retreat before he's killed as well. And looks like this attack has already failed before it went off almost.
Our forces are ready.
It looks like Knadys is preparing to call in a Tiger from the 101st SS Schwerer Panzer Abteilung and break through. Certainly not going to ease the American situation any further, in fact. And we also see Blitzkrieg, which can be used quite nicely, since it allows every tank to crush a lot in their path, and it fire much faster, plus infantry itself will also move faster. So if used properly, can be used to quite the advantage. Plus in the next patch it will be cheaper alongside the manpower blitz. So certainly some improvements to the Blitzkrieg doctrine for sure. Tiger will also be cheaper, although it will require more command points, while the Stu 42 will be cheaper and require less command points. And looks like someone is playing jazz in the background. But I would like to remind you, this is the Propagandacast, not the Jazzcast. Rangers moving in for the attack now. The lull has ended and the Rangers are quickly cut down, leaving a stream of dead and wounded on the open fields. Bad move for sure, and almost no support. And now the riflemen for some reason are moving in and will themselves suffer a gruesome fate, being cut down as well. And the Tiger is on the field, heavy Panzer ready. And we see assault grenades going off from the troops there. A lot of munitions, forcing the Americans in a full retreat, and they hit the mine, killing all of them. Oh, the horror. And we see an M4 Sherman moving in. This is not looking good. Almost no infantry left. Only a tank and some very weak defenses in the east. In fact, only a machine gun emplacement holding back the Germans, and they probably don't even know it. Which is a good reason why you want to do a bit of reconnaissance to actually spot out, because this could easily be a good opportunity to just rush in, wreck this machine gun emplacement, and just set up for in preparation for a counter-attack. And we see the Tiger lurking, stalking, and watching over the battlefield. And what low does it behold? The American base. Will it move in and deliver the death blow, or just stand there glooming over everything? Looks like the American has decided to prepare what he has left in a defense from the east, as his last observation post is going down. Sherman crashing through the old stone wall, and the machine gun emplacement has finally been knocked out. Sherman quickly knocking out one Volksgrenadier, two Volksgrenadiers now in fact, another Volksgrenadier, and the Pioneers pulling back as well. Stu 42 fire opening up, and the Geschützwagen watching over as well, ready to take and knock out anything moving into its sights. And a mine, oh dear, the American defense has quickly been brutalized. And the Geschützwagen doing a lot of damage, and now the Tigers moving in as well, while Panzer are also conducting a lot of damage. Veterancy 1 up for the armor at this moment, meaning a lot less damage. And the Stu 42 gets the final kill on the Sherman. Oh dearie me. Not looking good for the Americans, being torn apart out in the fields of Angoville. Quite horrific, a massacre in fact. But not much for Extraneus to actually do with what forces he has left, having suffered a high rate of attrition in the defense of this position, and lacking anti-tank assets to protect against the Stu 42s when they did arrive. And he seemingly continues to just get more and more armor, but I do think at this moment everything has been lost. With the Tiger, numerous Geschützwagen and Stu 42, there is not much he can do. He has been beaten beyond all compare, and I don't think he can actually make a return in the face of the might of the Reich. And of course we see the Geschützwagens also doing their part, in fact managing to kill some infantry, surprisingly enough. Or not, I suppose. They managed to actually do a better job than the actual Stu, which I'd say is more of a saying how bad the Stu is actually being a Stu, rather than the Geschützwagen being too good against infantry, but that's just me. Looks like a final attempt is made at the west with only M10s. And I should note to you people, M10s are not tanks, they are tank destroyers, meaning they're only really good at dealing with tanks vehicles, and can of course be improvised against infantry, but really should not be recommended for it, in particular not in a head-on assault. Rangers moving in, and will the M10s try to flank around or just move in from the front as well? Bazooka fire damaging the Geschützwagen, the first M10 moving in, second M10 roaring up as well, crashing into the lines. Pack fire opening up, and Geschützwagen knocking out one M10, the second one apparently also moving in, regardless of the losses its first one had. Rangers being torn apart out in the open. Black day for the 28th Infantry Division, and the second M10 is also suffering heavy damage and is also knocked out in seconds as soon as he joins the fight. And we hear the GG from Extraneus. So what did we learn from this match? Well, for starters, garrisoning can be used quite effectively to manage a strong defense. What we also learned is, of course, we really should do something to actually buff the defense, like barbed wire mines, or perhaps some medic stations to again reduce the rate of attrition. Also another thing, always have some proper anti-tank assets, like an anti-tank gun, so you won't be caught with your pants down when the Stu 42s hit the field or anything similar. Also, M10s are not tanks, they're tank destroyers, and of course don't run right at your enemy. Always try to do a bit around them. So I hope you enjoyed this match, and if you did, why not subscribe? This is Imperial Dane saying, Geschützwagens are cool.